I used to have trouble, going to sleep at an early hour because I used to sit there and dream about hearing my name called, at a Grammy nomination.
Let's go back, way back, like before God's plan, before Hotline Bling, even before degrassi. Drake is now a superstar, but trust me, his journey was full of plot twists.
I can honestly say, there was a period in my life where I was in high school and I used to have trouble, going to sleep at an early hour because I used to sit there and dream about.
He was born in Toronto in a neighborhood called Forest Hill. Now, some people hear Forest Hill and think rich, fancy, people with dogs that wear sweaters, you know. But Drake's life wasn't like that. His parents split up when he was young, and things got really hard. His mom was doing everything she could just to keep the lights on. And his dad? Well, his dad was all the way in Memphis, Tennessee, playing drums, hustling through life, and popping in and out like a great star on a TV show. Drake grew up in a home that was filled with love, but not filled with money. And let's be honest, being a kid with divorced parents is already tough. But Drake also had to deal with being one of the only black Jewish kids in his school. Imagine walking into class and people staring at you like you just spawned in from another universe. Kids can be mean, and Drake got bullied a lot. He wasn't the toughest kid, he wasn't some superhero, he was just Aubrey, a kid trying to figure life out. Now here's where things get interesting. One day, somebody sees Drake and is like, hey, you kinda look like you could act. Drake's like, me? Act? Bro, I'm just trying to pass math. But he tries it anyway, and boom, he lands a role on Degrassi, the next generation. If you don't know about Degrassi, think of it like Canada's version of every teen drama ever, but extra dramatic. Like, oh no, I dropped my pencil kind of dramatic. Drake played Jim Brooks, cool kid, basketball star, then, bam, his character gets shot and ends up in a wheelchair. And suddenly, people all over Canada know him. But here's the plot twist. Acting money wasn't enough. Drake wasn't living that superstar lifestyle yet. Sometimes he would film a show all day and then go home to a fridge that looked completely empty, like a dessert with a lonely ketchup bottle inside. But in the middle of all that, Drake fell in love with something else, music. See, while everybody else saw him as that guy from TV, Drake saw himself as an artist. He loved rap, he loved singing, and he thought, what if I did both? Back then, rapping and singing together wasn't as normal as it is today. If you tried it, people looked at you like, bro, pick a side. But Drake didn't care. He started writing music, hanging around Toronto's small music scene, and dropping mixtapes like Room for Improvement and Comeback Season. They were good, like really good, but he was still far from famous. And the craziest part, Drake was recording these songs in his mom's house, not in a fancy studio, nah, in his bedroom, with a cheap mic, probably praying nobody flushed the toilets while he was recording. Then something legendary happened. Lil Wayne. Yes, you heard me, Lil Wayne. That guy who raps like he swallowed a dictionary and woke up rhyming every word in existence. Wayne hears Drake's music through a friend and says, I need this kid. Drake, sitting in Canada, eating whatever snacks he had that day, gets a call saying Lil Wayne wants to meet him. Imagine getting a text from your idol like, yo, pull up. You'd pack your bag so fast you forget your toothbrush. Drake flies out, meets Wayne, and suddenly he's family. Wayne takes him on tour, lets him perform, teaches him about the industry, and basically says, you're up next. That's like being a rookie basketball player and having LeBron James saying, sit next to me. I'm gonna show you how to be great. Insane. Then came the mixtape that changed the world, So Far Gone. When that dropped, oh my, it spread like wildfire. People were listening in their cars, at school, in the shower, at the gym. Songs like Best I've Had and Successful made Drake a household name. Suddenly, everyone was like, wait, this guy's actually kinda cool. And he was. But here's the thing about success. People think once you make it, everything becomes perfect. Like universe suddenly hands you free snacks and unlimited happiness. Not true. Drake had pressure, a lot of it. After So Far Gone, everyone expected his first album to be incredible. And if it wasn't, people were ready to roast him like a barbecue. But Drake delivered. He dropped Thank Me Later and proved that he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Then, he dropped Take Care, which many people still say is one of the greatest rap album slash R&B ever. That album, wow. You could listen it when you're sad, happy, tired, hungry, heartbroken, or you just want to vibe. It worked very well. It worked for everything. Drake became the king of emotional but cool music. Like he'd rap something deep and you suddenly remember every person who ever ignored your text. But while he was winning, Drake was also kind of dealing with hate. And trust me, success attracts haters the way sugar attracts ants. People said he was too soft. They made fun of him for being on the TV show. They said he wasn't tough enough. They doubted him every chance they got. Drake responded in the best way possible. More hits, more success, more music that take over the whole planet. He dropped Nothing Was the Same, an album that basically said, yeah, I'm him. Songs like Started From the Bottom became anthems for anyone who ever felt underestimated. That song hits different when you actually struggled. Then he dropped If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. That mixtape had the whole world doing gym workouts they never planned for. Drake became unstoppable, like a cheat code in human form. But let's talk about his collaborations, because this man worked with everybody. Rihanna, they made bangers, so good the earth probably shook. Travis Scott, they made Sicko Mode, a song that changes beats so many times it feels like a whole movie. Future, they dropped a joint album that had people acting like they suddenly had millions in the bank. Drake and 21 Savage, come on, Her Loss went crazy. Drake has a skill like no one else. He knows how to mix with any artist and create magic. But there's something important I want you to understand about Drake. He didn't win because he was perfect. He won because he worked harder than anyone else. There were nights he barely slept, times he was broke, times he doubted himself, times people laughed at him, times people expected him to fail. But he kept going, he kept believing, and he kept creating. And today, Drake is one of the biggest artists on earth. He got records that seem impossible to break. He got houses that look like museums. He got more hits than some artists have songs. But even with all that, he still grinds. Still records, still studies the game, still tries to improve. Why? Because Drake's real power is that he never stops growing. He never stops trying. He never stops reinventing himself. And that's a lesson for you too. Your beginning doesn't decide your ending. Your struggles don't stop your success. Your challenges don't erase your talent. Drake made it because he stayed consistent. And if you stay consistent, you can make it too. So yeah, the story of Drake isn't just about a rapper. It's about a kid who got bullied, came from a split home, struggled with money, took a crazy chance, worked non-stop, believed in himself, teamed up with legends, stayed focused, so many things, and became one of the most successful artists in music history. And guess what? You're still at the beginning of your story. And your started from the bottom moment is going to turn into look where I am now kind of moment. Now, take that in.